I honestly don't even know how to describe what we just witnessed. One moment, it feels like a dream is coming true at Daytona. And the next, it's gone, just like that. That's the kind of emotional roller coaster only NASCAR can deliver, especially when we're talking about the biggest race of the season. Because this wasn't just another qualifying night. This was opportunity, redemption, an underdog fighting for a single shot just to line up on Sunday. And for a few hours, it felt like one of those stories we all love in this sport. The kind that reminds you why you watch every lap, every duel, every chaotic superspeedway finish. But then, something happened. Something that changed everything. And trust me, this is way bigger than it looks on the surface. Before we break it all down, if you live for these moments, the highs and the heartbreaks, hit that like button and subscribe. This is NASCAR content, raw and real. Alright, let's get into it. At the center of all this is Anthony Alfredo. For a few hours, he believed he had done it. He believed he had raced his way into the 2026 Daytona 500. After missing the race last year, after knowing just how hard it is for an open team to fight their way into that 4-0 car field, he thought it was finally over. Mission accomplished. And then, the call came. Alfredo went on social media and said it straight up. We're not racing in the Daytona 500. We were disqualified after inspection. Just imagine that moment. You're celebrating with your team, thinking about lining up in the biggest race in NASCAR. And suddenly, it's over. What makes this even tougher is how he handled it. No blaming, no finger pointing, just pure disappointment mixed with pride. He said, "I don't even know what to say. I hate it for our partners. Everyone worked so hard. We ran an incredible race, and I'm proud of the effort." That right there, that's a racer's mindset. Because this wasn't just about him. This was Beard Motorsports, an open team grinding for every single opportunity. This was sponsors like Dude Wipes investing in a shot at the Daytona spotlight. For smaller teams, making this race isn't just prestige. It's survival, exposure, funding for the entire season. And here's where it gets even more brutal. Because this happened in a dual race, which, remember, is basically qualifying for the Daytona 500. There's no appeal. No second chance. No review process. It's final. If this had happened in a regular points race, they could have fought it. But here, that door is completely shut. Still, Alfredo didn't accuse NASCAR of anything. He admitted it wasn't intentional. He didn't claim any advantage. He just accepted it and said he wants to learn from it. And almost immediately, you could see the competitor mindset kick back in. He shifted focus to the next race. Back to work. Back to competing. Because in this sport, you don't get time to sit in heartbreak. You reload. Now, let's talk about what actually caused the disqualification. According to NASCAR official Brad Morin, during post-race inspection, officials found an issue with a hose near the right side window. That hose is supposed to be sealed and connected properly to the cooling system. It wasn't. And on top of that, another cooling-related hose was also disconnected. At a track like Daytona, where airflow and drafting are everything, even the smallest detail can make a difference. NASCAR said they couldn't determine exactly when it happened, but from their perspective, the impact was enough. And that's all it takes. Now here's where things get even more complicated. According to officials, that hose wasn't loose during pre-race inspection, which means whatever went wrong likely happened during the race itself. But here's the harsh reality. From NASCAR's perspective, it doesn't matter when it happened. If they find it after the race, it's a disqualification, no exceptions. And that's what makes this so hard to accept. We're talking about a technical issue, where officials can't even confirm the exact cause. They don't know when it came off. They don't know how it came off. But the rulebook? It doesn't leave any room for gray area. And just like that, Anthony Alfredo is out. Beard Motorsports is eliminated. And one of the most emotional underdog stories of Speed Weeks ends in the inspection garage. For fans, this is one of those moments that really splits you. On one side, rules are rules. This is Daytona, the biggest stage in NASCAR. You can't start bending standards no matter how heartbreaking the story is. But on the other side, man, this one hurts. Because you could feel how much it meant to them. You heard it in Alfredo's voice. That wasn't anger. That was disappointment. That was someone who understands just how rare these opportunities really are. And when you zoom out, this moment reinforces something we already know about the Daytona 500. There is zero margin for error. Not on the track, not in the garage, not in inspection, especially for open teams. One tiny detail, one small mistake, can erase months of work in seconds. Now, as we head into Sunday, the 4-0 car field is officially set. But honestly, it feels like there's one story missing. For Alfredo, this is another tough chapter in a career that's already demanded a lot of resilience. But if there's one thing racers do, they come back. And you're already seeing that mindset. He's not stuck in this moment, he's already focused on winning his next race. That tells you everything. For Beard Motorsports, this is a brutal reminder of just how thin the margins are when you're fighting from outside the charter system. Every bolt, every hose, every single detail has to be perfect. And for us as fans, this is NASCAR at its rawest, cruel, and beautiful. At the same time, the Daytona 500 will go on. The green flag will drop. 40 cars will take the start. But this moment, it's going to stick with people. Because we all know how hard it is just to get there. If you felt that gut punch too, I want to hear from you. Do you think NASCAR made the right call? Or does this feel like one of those decisions that's technically correct, but still hard to accept? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're into real NASCAR talk, the emotion, the drama, the honest fan perspective, make sure you like the video and subscribe. This is just the beginning. And trust me, there's a lot more coming. I'll see you in the next one. Let's get ready for Daytona.